Hey everyone, welcome back to some more. What's this game? Planescape Torment. Let's go ahead and keep exploring more of the market while we're here. We saw a named person, Karina. Sometimes I think people. I don't know what she said. You see a pretty young woman wearing simple clothes. She wanders about the market and examines everything, but does not make any purchases. You notice that people seem to be avoiding her, but they try not to make it obvious. She flashes you a warm smile as you approach. Hello. Her smile broadens. Hello, I'm Karina. It's a pleasure to meet you, Cutter. She continues to smile and waits for your response. Oh, well, hello. Do you mind if I ask you some questions? She nods her head. All right. What do you want to know? Where can I buy some weapons? She smiles and points to one of the counters. Anne's over there sells weapons. All kinds of weapons. Are you a warrior? Oh, silly of me. Of course you are. I mean, how could you not be with all those scars? Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't mention those. You're not sensitive about them, are you? No, I've gotten used to them. She looks relieved. Oh, good. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, or anyone else's for that matter. You just have to be careful what you say to someone, you know? I mean, people are different. You never know. What may offend one person may not offend another. So, anyway, she pauses for breath and smiles at you. Hey, she talks like I talk. Can I ask you something else? She nods her head. Where can I buy some magic? She smiles and points to one of the counters. Alec over there sells magic things. Are you a mage? You don't look like one. But I guess looks can be rather deceiving. I don't know what a mage really looks like. Now that I think about it, do you? No, not really. She gets excited and points a finger at you. See? That's just what I mean. They have all this awesome power and they can do really incredible things, but you can't tell just by looking at them. They can sneak up on you that way. I mean, priests and warriors and whatnot, they all have this obvious stuff that they run around with. You can just tell what they are, so you know to be careful, but not mages. She gives you a matter-of-fact look. Can I ask you something else, Karina? You, really like to talk, don't you? She shuffles her feet and looks embarrassed. Well, I've been told that I probably talk a bit too much. You know, people tend to avoid me. I don't really have any friends or male friends courting me. Sometimes I get lonely. Her voice gets lower and lower until she is finally silent. She stares at the ground at her feet. Oh, I don't think you're a bad person, Karina. I happen to like you.
Updated my journal.
She gives you a hopeful look. Really? Thanks you so much. I don't know your name. I'm Aden. She smiles. Thank you, Aden. It's nice to know I have a friend. Farewell, Karina. Aw, poor girl. Maybe someone over there will talk. I know actually several people in real life who... I don't like just to talk to people, but once I get going, there's no stopping me. But I know several people who really love talking to people and would get upset if they couldn't do that. So poor Karina. Corvus. You see a tall man in plate armor. The armor is of unusual construction with spikes, flare. Oh, okay, so we've already read this. He nods at your approach, but then his eyes wander about the market. Oh, okay, he's not as attentive as the other guard. Good day, citizen. I am guard Corvus. Hey, Corvus. How may I help you, citizen? He gives you a friendly look, but glances over your shoulder. Can I ask you some questions? He nods to you. I will help you if I can, citizen. He looks about the market expectantly. Do you know someone named Byron Pickett? He frowns and nods his head. Yes, I am familiar with Byron. What can you tell me about him? He gives you a stern look. Anything I know about that individual is harmonium business, citizen. I cannot discuss such matters with strangers. Perhaps after I get to know you better. Oh, that's more than fair. Who are you? He gives you a slight bow. I am Harmonium Guard Corvus, citizen. I help keep the peace here at the market. He glances about for a moment and looks at you. But tell me about the Harmonium. Our belief is simple. We are the light. We are the way. We are order. We are truth. We maintain and enforce order here in Sigil. We police the city. He looks about again. Can you tell me about the other factions? I know a little bit about them, citizen, I'm sorry, but you will have to take your questions to a representative of their order for answers. He smiles and looks about. He's looking for someone. Oh, I think I remember this now. He nods to you. Okay, so Let's see if we can see what he's looking at. Try to see what he is looking at. You glance over your shoulder and see Karina wandering nearby. Corvus seems to have his eyes locked on her as she wanders about. You know, her name is Karina. He snaps his attention back to you. I beg your pardon. You know her, citizen? He looks at Karina again. Voice of an angel. Such a pretty young thing. Yes, and she's also lonely. I'm certain she would welcome the company of a gentleman.
Updated my journal.
He glances at you, then back at Karina. Excuse me a moment, citizen. He steps around you and heads toward Karina. All right. Corvus returns to you and smiling brightly. Thank you, friend. Wonderful young lady. He looks a little glassy-eyed. Oh, my pleasure. Can I ask you something else? I will help you if I can, citizen. I wanted to talk to you about the merchant Zach.
Updated my journal.
Anything I know about that is Harmonium business, citizen. I cannot discuss such matters. He pauses. All I can say is that Zach was murdered, and an investigation is being conducted. If you discover anything that will further that investigation, please bring it to my attention. Farewell.
Done. Done.
Alright, let's head on out now. Aw, I love playing Matchmaker in any game I play. That's awesome.
I'm gone.
Halcyon, Xanthia, Gort, Zerb, Thorpe. Wow, look at those giant guys. Oof. Let's talk to Xanthia. You see a pretty young woman in fine clothes. Her skin lacks the usual yellow tint of the inhabitants of this ward. She appears to be watching 3 nearby creatures with interest. Greetings. She turns to face you, and an annoyed look crosses her face. Yes, what do you want? I have some questions. Fine. Who are you? My name is Xanthia. She looks you up and down, then frowns. Is there something else you want? Maybe. What can you tell me about this ward? Nothing. Were it not for the fight, I wouldn't be caught dead here. Fight? Yes, see the 3 Thokola over there? She points to the 3 hulking creatures with rippling muscles. They are going to try to kill an Abishai. Stupid oafs. I've heard of something called an Abishai. What exactly is it? It's a lower plains creature. A Batazu, I think. In any sense, Abishai have a nasty dispositions, sharp claws, and can cast spells. Very formidable. Oh, those Thokola look like they can take care of themselves. But normally I would say yes. Thokola are very powerful warriors. She smiles slyly and leans in to whisper to you. However, I know something they don't. What might that be? Abishai can only be hurt by magic. The Thokola will be slaughtered. I have no doubt of it. She straightens up and watches the Thokola eagerly. How do you know they can only be hurt by magic? She gives you an annoyed look. My husband is very high up in the Harmonium. The Harmonium guards are trained to deal with creatures such as Abishai. She looks away. That's how I know. My husband told me. Why don't you warn them? Why would I do that? I'm the one who suggested the fight. Why? My husband tries to better his social standing with his underlings by drinking with them in the local taverns. Last evening he forced me to such an occasion. Those 3 oafs were there, boasting of their prowess as warriors. It was obvious they were in a drunken stupor. When they decided to leave, one of them tripped and fell into the table I was sitting at. She pauses. Go on. She frowns angrily. Most of the drinks at the table spilled into my lap and ruined a very expensive evening gown. So while the cretin was trying to apologize, I whispered to him that I only accepted the apology of a warrior of stature. If he were truly such a warrior, he'd be able to defeat an Abishai in hand-to-hand combat. You're going to get them killed because they ruined the dress.
Updated my journal.
You obviously do not understand the intricacies behind the situation. She looks at you like you were an idiot child. I was embarrassed and humiliated in front of my husband and his underlings. She looks angry. Yes. I must be going now. Farewell. Why don't we, not let this happen? This huge creature stands over 9 feet tall. Rippling muscles support its massive frame. It seems to be engaged in conversation with 2 similar creatures next to it. Greetings! He turns at your greetings and looks down at you. A look of confusion crosses his features. Court greets, small one. I have some questions. He gives you an apologetic look and shakes his head. Gort not speaking well your talk. Sorry. You ask Thorpe. He gestures to one of the creatures next to him. Alright, thank you. Hello, Thorpe. This creature is huge, standing over 9 feet tall. Rippling muscles support its massive frame. As you approach, he leers at you and laughs. Greetings. He looks down at you and gives you a friendly smile. What you want, Smalley? I have some questions. You got question? Maybe Thorpe got answer. He smiles at you. Hey, who are you? He smacks himself in the chest with a thunderous blow. Thorpe! He raises his arms above his head and shakes his fist at the sky. Mighty warrior is Thorpe. All Locola are mighty warriors. He places his fist on his hips and glares at you. Who you? I'm Adam. He thinks for a moment and nods. Oh, that good name for Smalley. Nice ring to it. Thorpe-like. I have some questions. What can you tell me about this ward? He stares at you for a moment, then shrugs. Thorpe not know. Thorpe new here. He gives you a childish smile. Thorpe here for fun. What kind of fun? He barks out a laugh and smiles at you. Thorpe here with friends. He gestures at the nearby Locola. We gonna barsh a flying lizard. He lets out a roar and begins to pound his chest with his fist the size of hams. A flying lizard. He nods his head, then begins to make crawling motions. Lizard, you know, but fly. He begins to flap his arms like a huge misshapen bird. Eventually he settles down and looks at you expectantly. You mean a dragon? He snorts and raises to his full height. Huh, Thorpe good, but he not that good. Someday Thorpe want to barsh dragon. He stares off in the distance with a longing expression, then sighs. Oh, but this not that day. I have some more questions for you. I've talked with Xanthia. She said you're going to fight in Abishai. He smiles and nods at you enthusiastically. That's right! Thorpe and friends barsh. I've learned that Abishai can only be hurt by magic weapons, Thorpe.
Updated my journal.
He gives you a worried look. Whoa, need magic? How you know? I've asked around, Thorpe. It's what people tell me. Oh, Thorpe not have magic. Friends not have magic. We die if we barsh Abishai. Oh, Thorpe not be warrior of stature. Xanthia not accept apology. You were willing to risk your life for the honor of a lady, Thorpe. Only a warrior of stature would do that. He stares at you blankly for a moment, and then a huge smile appears on his face. Really? Thorpe and friends now have stature? Yes, consider Xanthia's honor to be satisfied and the apology accepted. Oh, Thorpe, thank you. You saved life. You saved life of friends. He turns to the other Locola and speaks to them hurriedly. After a moment, all 3 bow to you, and each hands you a pouch of coins. Oh, I didn't need money. Well, I did, but I was perfectly willing to do this without accepting any funds. Thank you, Thorpe. He smiles. You good friend. You deserve. Oh, thank you, Thorpe. I must be going. Farewell. Hey,
right.
Very good. We stopped a bunch of innocent Locola from dying horribly. Let's look at our journal really quick. We probably picked up a few more things here, so let's see. So we've got NPCs. And we have anything new here? It's been a while since I've read these, so let's... I know I've read most of these, though, so let's see if there's anything that pops out of my head as being new. Godsmen. I don't think I must have seen these walking around. Yet another of the factions of Sigil, the Godsmen, are also known as the Believers of the Source. They believe that all creatures have the potential for godhood within them, that all of life is a test, and that every step is a lesson. Their relentless optimism makes them fairly popular. They make their home in the Great Foundry in the Lower Ward, crafting some of the finest metalwork in the plains. The Godsmen guards are very devoted to their jobs. They're also very cagey about what's going on in the Foundry. I think we've already seen the Harmonium. Oh, maybe you haven't. Another of Sigil's factions, the Harmonium Credo, is Live Right. Unfortunately for others, this credo often translates into Live like we do or else. They believe firmly in the rule of law, and thus they serve as enforcers of Sigil's streets. Their red armor helps them stand out on the city streets. Anything else we've got here? Small thugs. Oh, Tokola, here we go. Oh, wow, look at that huge thing. Tokolas are dull and brutish humanoids. Their bodies are covered with a brown, almost furry skin, and their jutting jaws do a poor job of hiding their misshapen teeth. They are warriors, and find no greater joy than in bloodshed. It is probably best to avoid angering them. Upper class males. I think we already... Yeah, I remember her outfit. We've already seen them. Okay, so that was all we have here.
All right.
Who's this guy? You see a middle-aged man with yellow skin. He glances at you as you approach and sighs. He gives you a bored look. Greetings! I don't know what you want, but I don't want to give it. Go away. Very well. Farewell.
Endure.
Huh?
In enduring, grow strong.
Alright, Xanthia, we'll talk to you. You see Xanthia. She gives you a look filled with hatred. You warned the brute, didn't you? Yeah, I did what I felt was right. She nods her head slowly. I will not forget this insult. Good day to you. She turns and leaves. Oh, there's
I'm
Byron
gone.
Pickett. Let's talk to him. He's a gentleman who's
What's up? Okay.
suspected.
I shall serve.
Well,
I'm gone.
good as done.
Right?
I'm gone.
All my people in combat positions, in case I say the wrong thing here.
All right.
You see a well-dressed, middle-aged man. He seems to be scanning the crowd with a practiced eye. He notices you approach and gives you a quick once-over. Greetings. He smiles at you and gives a barely perceptible nod. I am Byron Pickett, moneylender. May I help you? Moneylender. He nods again. Yes, I cater to the needs of merchants. Want to start a business? Keep one afloat that's down on its luck? Or perhaps expand the business? In either case, you need to come to me for the funds. He looks you up and down. I doubt that you are a merchant, sir. So what can I do for you? I have some questions. Very well, make it quick. What is this place? If you mean the ward in general, it's called the Lower Ward. If you mean this particular locale, it's the open-air market. Oh, tell me about the market. He gestures at the building behind him. An excellent market. It caters to just about every need. He pauses to think for a moment before continuing. Nothing exotic is available. These sods cannot afford such items, but a good market, nonetheless. Can't you something else? Make it quick. Tell me about the Lower Ward. He looks bored. It's the home of the common people. Look about you, and you will see all that there is to see. Nothing. Nothing of any interest. Then why are you here? He smiles. The one thing these mindless sods are good for is spending their money. It gives them the feeling that they're actually accomplishing something with their otherwise meaningless lives. Go on. He shrugs. Where there's money, you will also find merchants and thieves. I help provide the merchants needed to relieve them. He gestures about of their hard-earned coin. He smiles at you. You mentioned thieves. Who helps provide them? Not I. He gives you a calculating look and smiles. Why do you ask? I'm looking for some training.
Updated my journal.
He laughs and looks around. Really now? Well, that's not the kind of thing you should admit to just anyone. He smiles while he studies you while he thinks. As I said, I have nothing to do with thieves. Perhaps you should talk to Lenny. Can usually be found south and east of the market. He pauses a moment. Tell him I sent you. Thank you. Farewell. Okay, so he's a member of the Thieves Guild here, or is a thief. I have nothing against the practice of such things. Wherever there's money to be made, that there's money to be stolen from people. Assuming that no one was murdered for it, I think I'm okay with that. Let's talk to Sebastian, a mage who's sitting here. What's this first? The purpose of this device is unknown. It appears to be some sort of drawbridge-like contraption. There was something else that just became a question mark. What was that? Apparently it was nothing. You see an older man in elegant robes. He has bright eyes and a warm smile. He gives you a slight bow as you approach. Good day, Cutter. I am Sebastian. How may I serve you? Greetings. Greetings to you as well, Cutter. He stops mid-sentence as he notices your scars. You see his eyes travel along them, and his eyebrows arc in surprise. He returns his gaze to you. I was about to ask what I could do for you, but there is no need. I think I see why you came to me, Cutter. What, are you saying you can help me with these scars? He smiles at you and shrugs his shoulders. Perhaps, Cutter, perhaps. He leans forward and begins to examine your scars carefully. He runs a finger along several of them, mumbling to himself. Finally, he looks up at you. Yes, Cutter, I can help you. I cannot cure you, but I can alleviate the worst of your condition. And your price? Ah, yes, the price. He begins stroking his chin and stares at you. You get the impression you are being weighed somehow. He seems to come to some sort of decision. I have a job I think you could perform. Go on. I have signed a contract with a certain creature. I am no longer able to fulfill the contract. It is beyond my abilities. However, the creature will not release me from the contract. Instead, it has threatened me with death unless I fulfill the contract. Sure, let me guess. You want me to solve this problem for you? Yes, I cannot do it myself. My reputation demands that I fulfill the contract or face the consequences. I am at your mercy in this regard. Will you help me? What were you contracted to do? He shakes his head. I cannot reveal that information, Cutter. I am magically bound not to. That is why people come to me. They know that if I accept a contract, it will be handled with discretion. What kind of creature are we talking about? An Abishai named Grossock, Cutter. He pauses to gauge a reaction. I know this is a difficult task, but one that I think you can handle. Also, the reward I offer you is great. He gestures at your scars. An interesting proposal. He looks at you hopefully. Will you do it, Cutter? Yes, give me the details.
Updated my journal.
He smiles at you and gives a sigh of relief. Excuse me. Thank you, Cutter. The creature is an Abishai named Grossock. You will need a magic weapon to cause it any harm, so check with some of the shops if you do not own one. A spellcaster can harm it as well. Grossock can be found to the east, beyond the siege tower. The siege tower? Yes, over beyond the market. Damn thing just appeared one day, several years back. No one knows why, and no one seems to be able to get inside it to find out. Can I ask you something else? What's going on around here? He looks at you suspiciously. What do you mean, Cutter? He looks around and spreads his arms to encompass the whole ward. Life, Cutter. Life as usual. Nothing more. I must go then. Farewell, Sebastian. Alright, let's go and find this Abishai. We also want to explore more of down here. Let's see what. Actually, let's go down here first. Like to see whatever this is. There's another merchant. Oh, that merchant who sells things for cheaper, just in general.
Done.
I won't be selling him anything if I can help it. Anything in here? Oh, there's something here. What's this? Can we walk in?
I'm gone.
Can't. Oh, let's save the game as well. We did a bunch of stuff, and I don't want to lose the progress I made. Actually, we should stop and start the recording as well to avoid sound problem. All right, there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and see what's in this place. Oop. Is there anything in here?
Done.
Oh, it's a shop. Broca, we got a customer. I've got eyes. Can you see not? Oh, hey, this place looks pretty well kept. It's an actual, like, single store. That's okay. I was just leaving. Oh, he left. Hello? Micah. This rotund woman, complete with shrewdness eyes and a nasal voice, brays out, "Now, what have we here? A customer. Do mine eyes spy a customer?" Broca. The diminutive man replies, "Of course your eyes spy a customer. They see a customer all the time. Customers on the street. We have no customers. We will never have customers. It is useless and forlorn to hope for—" He pauses as his eyes alight on you. "Micah, we have a customer." I have to cough. 1 second. Oh, sorry about that. That's what I've been saying to you. She lowers her voice and turns to you. Well, what can we do for you? Oh. Who's he? He? He is Broca, and he's my husband of 20-some years, though his inconstant nature makes it hard to believe he has not strayed in that time. It certainly does not make it hard to believe. All those chances thrown away, when I could have been having the time of my life. To be sure, the goats on the farm must miss your tender ministrations. Broca purples, and the two of them fall into what sounds like the latest in a long, long series of arguments. Their attentions are entirely devoted to each other, and they ignore you. I'd like to buy something. The two of them are in a heated argument. They ignore you entirely as their words slowly fill the air in their shop. I'll just come back later then.
New taunts, all right.
Hey, Chief, can you believe those two? They could teach me a thing or two. I believe it, Mort. Let's go. Nice. Mort will now say different things, or sometimes might say different things when I think taunting people. Let's start talking. Our customer! Our customer! Micah, our customer has returned! I have eyes. Can I not see? I see him. I see him. Stop pestering me, you wizened old bag of bones. She turns to you and modulates her voice. What can old Micah do for you? Let's talk about trades. Another shop. Alright, what we got? So, we've got a knife. The tier of Sally Rue Day is worth 1,800 gold here. Blood Charm. Clot Charms. Let's see if... will they buy amulets and stuff? Oh, they'll buy stuff for more money. This is worth 450 here. Let's vendor all my... oh, but not copper earrings. Copper earrings are not worth much here. But we're going to vendor our bronze bracelets and our bronze ring. That was awesome. That was a lot of cash. Let's dump our gold rings. Oh, we won't sell the gold bracelet, though, because she already has one. That means that she'll buy them for less price. Okay, so, wow, we earned a lot of cash just like that. Let's see what else they're selling here. A gold earring, silver earring, Ring of the Traveler. Plus 1 to armor class for only 240. Crimson Sapphire earring. Plus 10% fire resistance, 5% resistance to magical fire. This small red gem is set into this earring acts as a heat sponge, protecting the wearer from heat or flame attacks. Whenever the wearer is exposed to fire, the gem draws some of that heat into itself, shielding its wearer from part of the damage. It is rumored that each of these earrings holds a tiny fire method inside, and that they are so starved for heat they will drink deep of any fire in the vicinity. This has never been proven, mostly because no one really cares to investigate the matter. Oh, poor little fire methods. And that's about it. Shards of Fate. 10 to 100 piercing. Breaks after first use. These gauntlets have been created from special crystals found only on the plains of Baator. When struck by these gauntlets, the crystals will shatter into thousands of pieces, tearing to the flesh and bone of those unlucky enough to be struck. Although heavy metal plates protect the user's hands, there remains a slight chance that some of the shards may strike the user. Uh-oh. Handy to know. A jagged knife. So really... Oh, it's Whispering Flask. Let's buy a few Whispering Flasks while we're here. And then we have enough for this Ring of Traveler. Ring of the Traveler. Let's buy it. So... This is a Blood Charm. I think we need... I wanted to give that to, I think, Mort. And then we also picked up... Who bought those? You did, Anna. So we have a +1 armor class ring. That will go to me. Armor class is now 0. Awesome. That's like the minimum I want to have on my characters. We've had 4 more Whispering Flasks. Alright, let's get out of here. That Crimson Earring's not bad, I guess, though I don't recall encountering any fire anywhere. So,
All right.
I don't know. I don't know how useful it will be in the long run. Oh, hey, we can actually search that.
Ready.
Hey, there's a pouch in here and 9 coins.
All right.
Oh, what's this guy doing? Hello, courier. You see a middle-aged man wearing dusty clothes. He does not appear to be in the best of health. His skin is pale yellow, and you see an occasional pustule on his arms. Greetings. He turns and glances at you from behind hollow eyes. His eyes narrow in suspicion as he continues to glance around. What do you want? His voice is raspy. Oh. What do you want? I had some questions. He turns his attention to you. Oh, why you be bothering me for? I look the part of a tout? Oh, you seem to be a knowledgeable individual that I can learn from. He sighs. What you be wanting to know? Are you feeling alright? Nothing a few years of death won't cure. Air's been getting worse in the ward of late. I reckon should level out once the great foundry settles, or a wind blows from the spire. What is with the air here? It's mostly 'cause of all the portals. He has a coughing fit, and then returns his attention to you. Well, what do you mean? Well, lots of doors the lower planes here, let in the bad air and fumes and such from who knows what layer of the abyss. That's why this here's the lower ward. A jaunt through this area is like breathing a meal. Salt, smoke, pipeweed. It's all yellow blankets of smoke and stinging sulfurous gas that this ward spits out. He gives you a gap-toothed smile. Pretty, eh? What was that you said about the winds? At times, wind blow from Sigil's spire, drive the smog out. Fences up and coughs. For a while. Tell me about this foundry. Son of the ward, pretty much. Look for the stacks. And them godsmans make a bunch of things out of the iron. Nothing fancy, but they work. Add to the bad air, too. Like godsmen. The believers have their kip in the great foundry, banging and singing and chanting their barmacillness on the being powers in the next 10 upon 10 and a bunch of other 10 lifetimes. He rolls his eyes and spits out a brown mass from his mouth. I'm not going to make that sound. All they do is suffer and slave and work. I slave twice as hard. No way, I'm not going to be any sort of power. You understand me, Burke? He laughs hollowly. Can I do something else? Sure. What you be wanting to know? Is there anything interesting to see around here? He conscious for a moment. Well, there's the tower. It seems to come up in the chant a lot. Tell me about the tower. One more damnable mysteries of this ward. Hear tell it simply dumped itself in Sigil one day many years ago. No idea where it came from, or how it got there, or how to get the damn thing. Oh, how to get in the damn thing. It takes up space. It looks like a sight. All them acid burns, weapon scars. Looks like it's seen a few hundred wars, it does. Anything else come to mind? Can't think of anything else of interest. Alright then, I must be going. Farewell. Looks like he can train me to be a warrior.
Alright.
So we'll have to come back here when I'm leveling up myself as a warrior a little bit to learn more weapon proficiency from him. Actually, do I have any left over? Let me take a look. Do I have any unused weapon proficiencies? 1. We'll be fine with just what we've got at the moment. Oh, there was that named Githrazi around here somewhere. Is that him? No, this is him, I think.
I'm gone.
This woman has yellow cast to her skin and severe features. Tattoos cover her body, and she wears a long blade at her side. Her eyes are like 2 small black pearls. As you approach her, they follow Dakon's movements. Before you reach her, Dakon breaks in. I would have you hear me. What is it, Dakon? It is my will that we do not speak to this woman. Why not? She is a Zerth. Our wills are crossed blades. We have no common ground. Very well, then we will not. You have my gratitude. Think nothing of it. Wow, some hatred going on there. Oh, you know what? It's been a while since we've actually looked at Dakon's Unbroken Circle. So let's do that while we're here. So let's unlock the 6th circle of Zerthamon. You slide the plates into the configuration Dakon showed you, and a new ring is revealed. The ring carries the same script as you read before, with the same geometries. You know the symbols, and know you can read them. Let's read it. Upon the blasted plains, Zerthamon told Gith there cannot be 2 skies. In the wake of his words came war. Upon the blasted plains, the people had achieved victory over their illithid masters. They knew freedom. Yet before the green fires had died from the battlefield, Gith spoke on continuing the war. Many, still filled with the bloodlust in their hearts, agreed with her. She spoke of not merely defeating the illithids, but destroying all illithids across the plains. After the illithids had been exterminated, they would bring war to all other races they encountered. Wow. In Gith's heart, fires raged. She lived in war, and in war she knew herself. All that her eyes saw, she wanted to conquer. Zerthamon spoke the beginnings of that which was against Gith's will. He spoke that the people already knew freedom. Now they should know themselves again and mend the damage that had been done to the people. Behind his words were many other hearts of the people who were weary of the war against the illithid. Know that Gith's heart was not Zerthamon's heart on this matter. She said that the war would continue. The illithid would be destroyed. Their flesh would be no more. Then the people would claim the false worlds as their own. Gith told Zerthamon that they would be under the same sky in this matter. The words were like barred steel. From Zerthamon came the pronouncement of 2 skies. In the wake of his words came war. Examine the circle again. Okay. Wow. So we're learning of the division that the Githzari, I suppose, have. This actually explains why Dakon and Kian, I suppose, did not want to talk to each other.
What is your will?
So there must have been a huge civil war that broke out amongst them. Wow. And I guess it's still going on to this day. How long ago did this happen? Eons ago? Millennia ago? There are some things I would know, Dakon. I will hear you. Can I talk to you about your teachings? I have read the Unbroken Circle of Zerthamon. I want to speak to you more about the way of Zerthamon. What did you come to know? I know that Zerthamon's devotion to the people was such that he was willing to protect them from themselves. He knew the illithids had come to not know themselves in their obsession with control and domination, so he chose to stop Gith before she carried the people to their deaths. There must be balance in all things, or else the self will not hold. Wow, I did not catch that. Good thing the Nameless One did. That is very true. You have seen the words and know them. Dakon's voice slows, and his hands grip the edges of the unbroken circle. He twists it clockwise, and there is a click as two plates slides forth. Dakon stares at the two plates in his hand. He makes no move to hand them to you. Dakon, is that second plate for you? Dakon falls silent. His blade has ceased shimmering, the film freezing upon its surface. He is staring at the second plate, paralyzed. Do you know the sixth circle? Dakon looks up, but his coal-black eyes do not meet your gaze. No. There is nothing more I may teach you. You know the way of the people. Know it. As the people. And it shall give you the direction by which you may know yourself. That's not what I asked. Do you know the sixth circle or not? It has come to pass that I do not know the sixth circle of Zerthamon. Once, I knew it, but I know now I only saw the words. Dakon's eyes stare through you. That is all. It is my path that I no longer know the way of Zerthamon. Dakon, there is one other thing I would know. Why is Vilquar's eye in the circle of Zerthamon? It seems strange. It tells of how the people benefited from a treachery from their own. It seems... Dakon's eyes flash. I have told you it is part of the telling of how the people came to know freedom. Do you not listen? His voice flattens as if he's reciting a passage from memory. It tells the people that even in the greatest treachery, a greater knowing may be achieved. It doesn't sound to me like you believe that. I think there's another reason Vilquar's eye is in the circle of Zerthamon. It is set there because of the sixth circle and the pronouncement of two skies. It is there to justify Zerthamon's treachery to the people upon the blasted plains. I guess to give it strength to how much he suffered and what he endured to make him as strong as Gith. Dakon is silent, and his blade bleeds into a dead black, teeth rippling along the edge. He divided the people upon the blasted plains, Dakon. He divided your race when they were on the path of victory. I would like to believe it was because he wished to save the people from themselves, but I don't think you believe that. I do not know the sixth circle as it is known to others. I fear that the third circle, the fourth circle, and the sixth circle are more closely linked than many know. It is in knowing that I have lost myself. Oh, it is in that knowing that I have lost myself. He has doubts on, I suppose, what his equivalent of religious texts say, and doesn't trust them. He no longer believes in them, and no longer knows them to be truth. He's doubting it, all that stuff. In the third circle, Zerthamon submerged his will to deceive the Illithids. Then in the fourth circle, it speaks of the benefits of treachery. In the sixth circle, Zerthamon divides his people before they exterminate the Illithids. Do you think Zerthamon's words may not have been his own? Know my words, and know the wound that lies upon my heart. I fear that when Zerthamon was upon the Pillars of Silence, he did not submerge his will. I fear that his will was taken from him by the Illithids, and when he spoke upon the blasted plains, it was their words he spoke. I fear that what he did was not for the people's sake, but for our former masters. Oh, wow. He suspects that the Illithids implanted that in him, in Zerthamon, so that, wow, so that the vision would happen. The Illithids knew that they were probably going to die, and then made Zerthamon kind of like a sleeper agent. Is that right? That's the wrong term, but basically they returned him, made it all the Githrazi still believe in him as their leader, that he successfully hid it from the Illithids, and then, oh wow, to save the Illithids from the gift. Wow. Yeah. Wow. It's possible, Darkon, but no, it doesn't necessarily mean that he
Updated my journal.
Then know this, and speak of it no more. Know that I shall never know the truth. There is no resolution to this matter, for I shall never know Zerthamon's heart upon the blasted plains. His cold black eyes glare at the stone circle in his hand. And I do not know myself, because of the unbroken circle of Zerthamon. Oh, wow! He doesn't know what to believe in, and it's defined him. Oh, Dakon, this is so sad. Very well, Dakon. We'll discuss this no more. Let's move on. Allows the user to copy balance in all things into the spellbook.
It's in my spell book.
I don't think Dakon knows this one.
Spell has been added to my teachings.
What
Gone.
does that do? It's not a rank 1 spell. Or 2. Is this it? From the separation of the people came the knowing of the two skies. From the knowing of two skies came the realization that hurting others hurts oneself. The spell only affects the caster. Whenever the caster is attacked while the spell is in effect, all hostile creatures within a 10-foot radius take equal damage. It lasts for 1 attack per 4 levels of the caster, and the effects are not cumulative. You cannot have more than 1 balance spell erected. If the spell is not triggered, it lasts for 5 seconds per level of the caster. Okay, gotcha. So it lasts for, right now, on me, that would last about 35 seconds, or 1 attack? 2 attacks? 2 attacks. I think I'm level... What level am I? 8? 9? 7. So that will last for 1 attack at the moment. Can I look at his thing again? This small rounds... Okay, oh yeah, maybe we put out in the combinations. As you examine the rings of the second circle, you find a strange link in the plate that mentions the laboring of the Gith people to achieve the rising. A new circle emerges from the link, and you unlock it, pulling the plate forth so you can study it. Wow! Know that the rising of the people against the Illithid was a thing built upon many turnings. Many were the people who lived and died under Time's blade while the rising was shaped. The rising was shaped upon a slow foundation. Steel was gathered so that it might mark Illithid flesh. A means of knowing the movements of the Illithids was established, at first weak and confused, then stronger, like a child finding its voice. When the movements were known, then the Illithids were observed. In observing them, their ways of mind were known. When the ways of the Illithid were known, many of the people were gathered and taught it in secret, the means to shield their minds, and the way to harness their will as weapons. They were taught the scripture of steel, and most importantly, they were given the knowing of freedom. These things were not learned quickly. The knowing of much of the way was slow, and in all these things, time's weight fell upon all. From the knowing of one's reflection in a steel blade, to the knowing of submerging the will, to the knowing of seeing itself. All of these things and more the people built upon. In time, they came to know. the whole.
What is your will?
Dakan, I would like to speak to you of something I discovered with the Unbroken Seal. There was a seventh circle within the Stone of Zerthamon, Dakan. It spoke of the building of the rebellion against the Illithids. Dakan falls silent. What does this seventh circle speak of? It speaks of time as an ally, not as an enemy. It says that patience can sharpen even the smallest of efforts into a weapon that can strike the heart of an empire. Your victories may be small, but over time, a greater victory may be achieved. Dakan falls silent for a moment. Will you make this circle known to me? Let's show him how to do it. As you take the circle and twist the links, 2 plates slide from the interior and into your hands. You have no idea where they came from, but the unbroken circle still seems intact. The 7th circle remains. Dakan watches you silently. There are 2 plates here. Perhaps we should both study them, you and I. Dakan is silent for a moment. There is much you have come to know of the circle, and your knowing carries a greater weight than mine. Know that your path is mine, and it shall come to pass that as you knew the way of Zerthamon from me, I shall know the way of Zerthamon from you. Very well, Dakan. Let's move on. Oh, wow! That's awesome! Oh, Missile of Patience! You know, I remember this! So I must have done this. I don't remember the stories, though. But I know I had this in the past. I know I had this in the past. Okay, let's copy the spell.
It's in my spell book.
Now, I remember a long time ago looking this up because I thought it was really unique, and at first I thought the spell was kind of useless.
Spell has been added to my teachings.
We'll go and take a look at it. But it's actually pretty interesting. You just have to basically farm it, as it were. What level is it? Oh, it's not level 4 spell? I don't see it level 3. Is it level 2? Oh, it's a level 1 spell! Could this spell be any more useless? Cried Inlik, mage of Anar. Anar. The bane of mages everywhere. Could this be the practical joke? Oh, wait. Could this spell be any more useless? Cried Elnik, mage of Amnar. The bane of mages everywhere. Could this be the practical joke of an archmage, or living disproof of the old prime material axiom that good things come to those who wait? The way this spell works is, right now, it does 1 damage and is very close range. But think of this spell not as your normal D&D spell. Think of it as a quest for glory spell, if that makes any sense. The more we cast it, the more powerful it will become. But it requires a lot of castings, just as a heads up. I'm actually going to use this a lot, I think. So let's take that, and we'll drop one of these to take it again. Now, I never really used it, because I was like, wow, I don't know how long, because although I know how it gets better, I don't know how long that will take. But I will begin memorizing it and begin casting it, and we will find out together.
I hear your words.
So what spells does he have at level 1? I think we'll... You know... Missile of Patience. Do I want that instead of, like, Vilcor's Eye? Sure. Okay, everyone, now we're gonna call it a break here. Wow, we did lots of talking. Thank you guys for watching. When we come back, we'll go and find out where that Abishai is, and we'll go and slaughter it. I guess we'll explore more of the ward on our way there. So I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching, and take care.